Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
And their coach told us the other day that they wanted to get him in a nice groove right out of the gate. And one way to do that, give him quick throws where he can get the ball out of his hand in a hurry, as he did there.
First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Let's face it, when you have a guy who can pick up those types of runs and keep the chains moving or stay ahead of the chains, you're making everyone else on offense happy because you're opening things up to allow for a whole lot of different play calls.
On the ground, it's the rookie running back out of Miami. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now. Stroud working out of the gun. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 39. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here's Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Well, they'll come up second and 7. They go back to the ground now with Davis. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 22-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Right back to Davis. It's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety of ways, but you're right, they want to run their offense through him. Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
Davis, he'll try to run for it. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, That's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on third down.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Texans get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. On play action, here's Williams. This will be caught downfield by Moore. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's a gain of 34.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7. Here's Williams. Quick slant complete to Keenan Allen. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. But give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a 1st down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Swift will take it in. Touchdown, Bears. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. 7-7, our score after one. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it as we resume action. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Williams. A little short pass. This is Everett, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll go for a gain of 7, and 3rd and 1 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. To throw, it's Williams. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Texans are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Texans offense set to regain possession. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Stroud looking to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Stroud to throw it. He's got a man. Complete. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans have taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here, so get this up to the 29. The Chicago offense set to get started. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away. And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
2nd and 10. Now a give, right side, Swift. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It brings up a 3rd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. To the air, Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41. 2nd.
Him complete it. Brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. Ooh, with a juke. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Throwing is Williams. Here's a diving catch right side. And a tackle going to be made at the 38. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I know that rookie quarterbacks have to earn veteran receivers' trust. Maybe we saw that on that play with that type of effort, huh?
Yeah, helping out the rook with a heck of a catch. Working out of the gun, Williams. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Looking to throw is Williams. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Williams over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll go right back to Allen. That's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, here's Williams. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. They begin with a run by Davis. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got him pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. A 1st down carry for Davis. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. On the bootleg, Stroud. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 2nd and a couple. They will run straight ahead with Swift. Shoves him away. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That one a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Once again, it's Swift. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Azeez Al-Shaair able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, here's Swift. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Williams. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And Danielle Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll toss this to Pierce on the right side. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
Getting this ball out wide for Davis. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Stroud. And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Now Stroud. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the 1st down.
It's Davis on the counter. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. Here's Davis to run again on second. 20. 5. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 47 yards. And the Texans have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Williams. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the 1st down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Caught by Allen. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Operating from the gun, Williams. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Williams.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his target, Allen. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Play action. Now Williams. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw for it with Williams. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Rome Odunze, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Texans offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Stroud. To Pierce, they set up the screen. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a fourth down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Webster now to return. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. The Bears offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. He's back to throw. Throw right side taken in by Odunze. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have as well as they understand where they are on the field?
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Back to throw. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their number 1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. Now 1st and goal. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Santos now to add the PAT. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Now Stroud. He'll get this complete to Collins. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Stroud. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
So the Texans will have the first opportunity here in the overtime session as we are back underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's 2nd down. First throw of overtime. Stroud. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Uncorks one for Davis. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. A big one to kick off the overtime as they surge into the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
They need a matching touchdown here to keep their hopes alive. Here's 2nd down. On the move to his Williams loses the football, and the Texans scoop it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. The visitors' offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. So this one in the win column for the Texans, and it was thanks in large part to the play of their 2nd-year quarterback.
Yeah, what struck me was how composed he was in the pocket. The numbers weren't spectacular. He had 2 touchdown passes, that's it. But he led his guys on some important drives when they needed it most, and they're going to come away with the victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.